We're live. Live stream 132. Market seems to be in a bit of a range here. Not much in terms of volatility. Yeah, seems to be in a bit of a range. Don't believe there is any. Well, there was news at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. Durable goods orders month on month. We'll see here. Over on the NQ chart, we had a bullish day. Closed a little bit off the highs. Bullish day nonetheless. Had a move up. Interesting. So I'm back, and let's have a look here. Okay, there is a possible short on gold. Actually, we're into the 200 here. Problem with the short on gold is we could only hold it down to say 50. That's a bit of a problem. We're testing the previous day a high as well. Which would have been Friday's high. And the 200. Nah, you know, there's too many things there. Stay away from it. I'll just stay away from it for now. We've got the previous session highs. We've got the 200 here on the 5-minute. I'm going to stay away from it. As tempting as it is to probably target the 550s. There is a possibility of this. Bouncing from here. Moment we're seeing NQ bounce off the pre-market lows in around this area. Seeing that selling there in gold. Looks like we are going to come down to the 550s. Currently testing the pre-market lows here. Just traded through it here on NQ. So it would have been, it's interesting. Fairly good close there on gold. But I've already talked myself out of it, so let's see. YM seems to be heading in the opposite direction. And RTY is just consolidating. It looks like, for the moment, it looks like we are coming down to the 550s there. Let's see. Level we should have been looking at would have been 47.6. Let's see if we get down to the 47.6 here. On on gold. Yeah, we had a lot of volume on this candle. So looking for that 50.3, just about there. It's the first level we're looking at, but really, I'd like to see price come down to the 47.6. Seems somewhat inevitable that we want to go down to the 50.3, but
Order submitted.
oh no. Oh no. Let FOMO get the better of me there. Absolutely let FOMO get the better of me. I'm going to try to get out for break even here.
Target filled.
I'll let FOMO get the better of me. I had to just get out. So price have gone through the 40.3 there. Looks like we're going to head towards the 47.6. Talked ourselves out of the trade up here because of the 200 previous day's high. Well, previous session high. So Oh, there's a target. 47.6 would have been hit. I'm a little bit concerned about the 50.3, but there we are. At least we know there's some follow through taking place. This break-even trade is going to have a detrimental impact on my averages, but it is what it is. So we've had the move up, consolidation, move up pre-market during the European session, now selling the US session back down towards the overall session lows, which is interesting. Area looked a little bit congested after being in a drawdown for a couple of sessions now. I'm being really cautious in regards to what I'm looking for. I want to see clear windows where there may not be any resistance or support for the trades. First 30 minutes here, we don't seem to have had a massive pickup in volatility in terms of distance covered here on ES. You can see here, even though we've moved down, done it pretty slowly. Seeing wicks on the candles, suggesting a real battle between buyers and sellers. Price is getting bought up there. Oh, what's going on here? Seeing prices be bought up here off the pre-market lows. Traded through them. Seems some buying at the moment. RTY still in the range. YM seems to have stalled a little bit here. Keep an eye on the most volatile of instruments. Seems like the parents want to do something different here. We have YM. Looks like it wants to head higher. So to RTY. Whereas NQ and the S, more NQ, want to head lower. Quite a bit selling there on NQ. Which is a little bit interesting. Got a minute to go. Problem with a candle of this size is a target would be through the lows from the previous session. So the problem would be got 10 seconds to go. Yep, looks like it's going to be a short.
Order submitted.
$5.73. $7.41.25. Maybe to get gold on the pullback. Who knows? So we've got a previous session low sitting at 591. So our target is the battery's low. So we've got our target down at 73. We've got the previous session, which was Friday, low at 591. We got Friday's lows right there. So slightly above our target is. But it is what it is. Depends how the candle close. We could be in an ES position, but we'll have to wait. We'll have to wait. Got the 640s on ES. Got the pre-market lows down at 640. Friday's lows below 600. Thought YM would show us a little bit of strength here. Seem to be struggling a little bit. Again, anything could happen here. Could be another losing session. Absolutely anything could happen. Not 15 seconds to go. Seems the ES is about to set up.
Order submitted.
ES is just set up. $6.38. $6.38, so just slightly below pre-market lows. $63.75. Again, anything could happen. In my ideal world, of course. Like for this market to come down, break Friday's lows at the 591s, pick us up at 73, locking in 83 points. Likewise on ES. Pick up essentially somewhere around at 27 points. Take us up over 100. Seem to be getting a bit of a divergence. Currently seeing selling on NQ, buying on YM. We'll see though. Thing about the buying here on YM, if we are going to see the selling on ES and NQ, can't imagine YM's going to hold up, because the components of YM are in the S&P. So do we bypass a trade setup even if it does set up? That's the question. But what if we turn around on ES and NQ and the YM trade works itself out before the ES and NQ trades? So the thing you have to think about. Well, I've got about a minute to go. Well, a minute 49. Think about this. In the ideal world, YM would fall into line with the ES and NQ. So the selling on ES and NQ drags YM down with it. That way, I won't have to take a long YM trade. That's what would be ideal. I'd like to see more selling here on YM. I'd like it to be sustained. 32 seconds to go. Definitely would not want to see this candle be bought up. Hoping that the sellers can really drive it down here. Just going to quickly have a look at NQ. Q is going in our favor. Still quite a long way to target. ES also going in our favor, but again, quite a long way to target. So let's have a look. Nope, didn't set up, thankfully. YM didn't set up. So we continue to wait here. Seeing gold going into this consolidation, which is interesting. The consolidation of that pre-market level there, around the 50s. You see there we traded through it. Currently holding above the 50s. So previously, I saw we're up at 52. Of course, didn't take it. Seen a bit of a pullback here on NQ. Likewise reflected on ES. Who knows? As we're seeing buying here back into NQ, bringing down our unrealized We're in fact seeing selling on YM. Which is interesting. RTY still in a range. Looks like we're about to set up on YM. A long setup of all things. About 50 seconds to go to decide. Came into this week with the mindset of following the system best I can. Let's see. Seems this is definitely staying up for a long. Of course, in the ideal world, everything could be going in the same direction. If we were to go long here, if we had to make a sacrifice, we'd definitely be willing to sacrifice YM
Order submitted.
for NQ NES. But we just take the setups as they appear, so we've got 544 as a target. So this YM trade is actually going the opposite direction to our ES and NQ trades. 370 is our stop. There we are. Seen a fair bit of buying here. Definitely not the sort of thing we want to see when we're in a short NQ trade and a short ES trade. But we'll see. So we're back up to 50. Oh wow, 58. Let's just have a look. So we're having a bit of a pullback on ES. RTY, no. But we are heading upwards on YM. And our NQ trade is actually heading downwards, so that explains it. That certainly explains it. So we're up to 60 now, and it's about 10% of the way off the, hold on, the drawdown. No, it's not. Completely forgot the drawdown we're currently in is over 800, because we're up at 1.9 at our highs. Just about 850 odd drawdown. Such a big drawdown, but I'm going to get it all back in a day or two or even three. So we'll just take whatever the market gives us. We'll stay patient, follow our system, take the trades as they appear, follow the plan as best we can, and whatever happens, happens really. So we'll see. Definitely see. You see here, still quite a long way to go. Down to 73. Quite a long way to go. Well, we're still having this divergence with YM. Got to 516 there. Looking to get out at 544. Seeing a bit of a pullback there. Hopefully that contributes to greater selling in. Oh wow, breaking through Friday's lows. Good move there. I haven't seen the buyers as such. Like to see a quick move through and pick our target up at 573. Suppose there is a thinking of possibly just closing the trade, locking in the profits. Same time, follow the system. Despite this potential support area being Friday's low. So over on YM, seeing the break here to the upside, just hit 20. A corner of my eye just saw a move down. 70 target just got filled right there, picked up 83,750. Quite a bit to go on ES. Pulling back unfortunately on YM. Got as high as 23, so about 21 points away. Still holding the position, of course. Yes, it started to be dragged down by NQ, I'd assume. No guarantee that is the case, but seeing the selling here coming into pre-market lows of the 640s. Target's currently down at 638. Trying to stay patient here. We can see we've picked up 116. Unrealized, we've got 32, 115. Dealer would like to pick up our targets here. I didn't realize I had so much on the line. That's interesting. Seeing continued selling on NQ. Definitely on this push, would like to see our target be picked up. Here on ES. Because as we know, sometimes when there aren't any more sellers, the market just whipsaws back like an elastic band that's been stretched. And we definitely don't want to be on the receiving end. It's currently testing our pre-market low. Testing our pre-market low area. Somewhat problematic. Somewhat problematic. So we're up to 120 unrealized. Dealing Coming in to test the 40s here. Traded through the 40s down 39.75. So we picked up the 40s here, hoping there aren't a bunch of buyers sitting there. I'm going to adjust my stop to break even. I'm going to try and trust the system here. Hopefully we can pick up the 38s. So, goodness me, how far did we get there? Got to 39, so 4 ticks away from target. What time does the candle? Oh my gosh, 6 seconds the candle close. Tough decision to make right now. Do I continue to hold? This is a pre-market low. There is a possibility of the market bouncing off here. 4 ticks away from target. You know what? Should I be dogmatic here? Should I be dogmatic? Or can I just be sensible? I want to be dogmatic. I really want to give this a chance. Really want to give this a chance. Problem is, had a lot of volume on the selling candle, the previous selling candle. Kind of volume you see before the market turns around. That's the problem. That's the problem I've got. Oh, hold on a sec. May actually have. Ah, come on. You know what? I'm gonna leave it there. I know I've got the target down at 38. And I may come to regret that getting out as the market popped up there, but I'm just gonna take the profits there. I'm just a bit concerned about this pre-market low having the market bounce up. I'm just a bit concerned about that. In hindsight, it'll look like the wrong decision, but been burnt quite recently a few times, so there we are, locking in that. Let's see. What have we realized? Oh, 105. Okay, interesting. So what do we pick up there? 21,875. This looks like it will get down to 38, but it's just hanging around there. It just felt psychologically painful, so especially concerned about that 640 pre-market though. Oh, there it goes. There he goes through the 38. So could have been more patient, but I wasn't. I got out at 42. Goodness me, that's 4 points. That's quite a bit. That's 4 points. That is quite a bit. That is a fair amount, that is. 4 points. Problem I've got now is this YM starting to pull back. That's the problem I've got. It's the case of whether I take it off here or do I be dogmatic. Let's have a look what these alerts. Have I got a... No. See, the divergence is starting to change. Look at that. Unbelievable. Price has got all the way down to the 31s. I definitely feel FOMO to try and pick up 4 points. The 4 points I gave up. I definitely do feel a bit of FOMO. I definitely do. It's about whether I want to give in to it. I'm going to give in to it.
Order submitted.
It's bad, it's bad, it's bad. It's FOMO, it's not great. I've just given in to it. So I'm looking for a move down to 28.50. The frustration from getting out, watching the market reverse, well, not reverse, follow through, get towards the target. I'll just let the FOMO. Who knows here? 48.75. Goodness me. As a matter of fact, we've got a pullback short here on gold. I'm not sure if I want to take that. No, we've come down to the pre-market lows. And this movement here, sideways movement, it's almost like it's bottoming out. I'm not sure if I want to take that. I'm not sure. You know what? Let's go
Order
with it.
submitted.
We'll see. We'll see if this re-entry short works out for us on gold. What we do know is this FOMO short on ES is not working for us. That's one thing we do know. You know what? Cancel that order. It's not a great place.
Order canceled.
Let's go with 28.25. What is that? Problem I've got with the re-entry short on gold here is we've got this pre-market level. We've had price come down to it, consolidated above it, slowly grinding up. I'm a little bit concerned about it, so that's the reason why I've cancelled that short re-entry order. I'm a little bit concerned with this action here. We may see a quick pop to the upside of that pre-market level. moment our YM trade's not in our favor. And while it's not in our favor, we've also got contributing is a short on ES. So YM trades by the book, but the ES trade is of course FOMO, and I acknowledge that. I certainly acknowledge that. We should just drag this to the 28, 25. Essentially what I'm looking for. Again, this is all from the FOMO of getting out here and then watching the price go on to hit the target. Now I'm short, and all it is hope, essentially. Hope that this market turns around and comes all the way down here. There is no real reason to be in, but we'll see. We'll see here. I suppose the ideal thing to happen would be to be stopped out, because more often mistakes are punished, the less likely they are to, less likely the behavior is to be reinforced because it's not being rewarded. So I suppose it's negative reinforcement, I believe, because we're losing something positive, which is P&L. But of course, as this market turns around, our YM, who knows, maybe YM will actually get to target. Well, we'll see. Problem is, if we get stopped out here on ES, it will more than offset any potential profits on YM. Of course, the worst case scenario is YM sells off, gets stopped out, ES gets bought back up and gets stopped out over there as well. That'll be the double whammy. But we'll see. We'll see. We will see. I've not looked at the range for today yet. The range for today on NQ is currently 340.75 points, high to low. Fairly decent volatility there. Oh, goodness me. See more selling here on YM. Let's move up. Did not quite work. we're about to see the rotation out. Goodness me. It's not a good sign, these three bearish candles. Not a good sign at all from the highs. Going to be closing near the below the latest pullback. So from our realized 104, certainly heading in the wrong direction at the moment. Unrealized we were up at 120 at one point, I did see. So this is what I was a bit concerned about with gold turning, popping to the upside. Let's just have a look here. Okay. Come on. This FOMO trade is looking worse by the second. See, this is a better setup short on gold, actually. Problem is, would require a target through pre-market lows. And I'm not sure if this market wants to do that. I think I'll take this short on gold. There's a re-entry short. We've tested previous session high from Friday. Currently rejecting it at the moment. So may just take that short here. Just in case sellers want to sell off that level. Go short. Problem I've got at the moment is YM, fourth consecutive bearish candle. Got third consecutive bullish candle on ES. Goodness me. Target's down at 49. I'm about to be stopped out on YM here. Let's keep a look. There's our open P&L. It's got the stop out at 370. Currently 84, 83. Not far away. Gold. Let's see. Where's the stop? It's at 58. Let's see. So we've got to stop at 58, target at 49. Seems we're about to post our fourth consecutive green candle here. Further undermining the FOMO short. Looks like we're about to be stopped out on YM. Just waiting for it to happen here. 75, 73, 2. Stopped out. So lost 22 there on YM. A true setup. Not all setups work. Came pretty close though. Got to 23. Target was up at, I believe, 44. 3 consecutive bearish candles. Could we have gotten out earlier? It's one of those questions, isn't it? It's one of those questions. So, locked down to 82. Goodness me, look how strong NQ looks. Look at that. 4 consecutive green candles. And here I am in a short on ES. Whereas NQ could actually just drag ES up with it. Hoping at some point NQ encounters some difficulty. Otherwise I'll be in some serious trouble here. Some serious trouble. I suppose it won't be that serious because we do have our realized gains from earlier, but it's not ideal. We're seeing the market on NQ move from 505.50 pretty much all the way up to 600. So we're seeing essentially a 100-point move from the 505.50s there up to the 600s. Couldn't have picked a better. It's amazing. Last week I was buying, kept selling, buying. The market kept selling, stopping me out. Resulted in one of the biggest losses I've ever had. And then this week I try to sell, the market just reverses. You see, we're about to have our 4th consecutive bullish candle. So over 100-point retracements from the lows. Currently still short on ES. Thing with NQ, closed above Friday's lows. So we came down to Friday's low, traded through it, couldn't find any sellers. Now we've closed back above it. Some may view that as a reversal sign. ES is stronger because ES, we haven't tested Friday's low, which was all the way down at 597. So ES has got greater relative strength. But here I am, short, out of FOMO. We'll see. We'll see here. At least the gold trade is kind of going in my favor. Somewhat offsetting the poor ES trade. Now the question is, you've already FOMO'd in. Why not simply close a trade? Why not simply close a trade? You've made a mistake, accept the mistake and just close a trade. But the problem I've got is times where I've closed a trade and the trades end up working out. And the thing is, I don't track the data for when I do that. We got 4 consecutive green candles. 4. And currently we are at the 640 level. Did mention it was it was a current session's pre-market low. Seems we're about to get the 5th consecutive green candle. While this is happening, we've got gold selling off. Because it comes down to how much you have to see. Currently testing that 550 area, around about where we've got the pre-market lows or so. The pre-market lows? No, not quite the pre-market lows. It was an important level. Can't remember the reason I've got it there, but the 550 is an important level. So 49.5, about 5 ticks away. from our target here. 2 ticks away.
Target filled.
Target got filled right there. Picked up 21.5. Realized 103. On that short, re-entry short on gold. So picked up target there. Lost on YM, of course. 22. So those kind of offset one another a little bit. Problem I've still got is this ES trade. This ES trade. Well, with NQ, we've retraced into an area that we can start to look for re-entry short signals from. So we'll see. Of course, due to the volatility of the instrument, which is NQ, if we do get a successful re-entry short that hits target, certainly offset any potential loss. Currently unrealized 20 or so that we could have on ES. But we do need prices to go a bit higher for a re-entry, possible re-entry short on NQ. RTY still range bound. RTY still range bound. YM. Days like this, you think with YM getting up to 23, target at 44, you think, well, take profits early. Certainly lock some in from the entry of 56. Looking at like 70 points really. But if we start doing that sort of thing, then we'll have a higher win rate, but the losses will be quite a bit larger. We'll have to figure out a way to cut losses quicker if we're going to take profits earlier. So it's a bit of a double-edged sword. It isn't that simple. Where am I actually short on ES actually? Let's have a look. Short at 32. Yeah. Okay. Interesting. So we've not quite got to the level where we could look at the actual shorting on NQ yet. We still need it to go higher. Possibly up to the mid-20s, high 20s, early 30s. So we'll wait. We'll certainly wait. Seeing YM sell off quite a bit here. Of course, our target down at 28.25 on ES. It's quite a bit away. Prices are at 35, so that's 7 points away. And this candle isn't really convincing me at the moment. This candle could easily turn around, close bullish with a big wick. So there isn't really much you can read into this current selling. This could just be selling to trap sellers in for the market to travel higher and head towards that 200. So not excited about this pullback we're currently seeing. Seen this sort of thing before. Selling, you'd think prices are going to turn around, break the lows, gets bought back up and continues higher. Seen that far too many times. In other markets, RTY seems like it wants to break out of its range and give a short signal. But we have to be patient with it. Could be a tricky instrument today. Let's just see. Why don't I have more data? How do I get more data? Let's get 6 days worth of data. So we got about 16 seconds to go. I'm going to go back over to... Got 16 seconds to go. We'll go back over to ES. You can see there's that wick. Coming to these lows here. Going to close with that wick there. So, like we're saying, it seemed like it was going to be an engulfing candle, but buyers are holding this market up a bit here. We were saying that on NQ we needed prices to head a little bit higher, mid to probably the high 20s, low 30s into that region there to look for possible re-entry short. But we'll see what this market brings. So the YM RTY pair, seeing that YM selling there, it's going to be a long way before YM actually sets up short. Requires a lot of price movement between now and then. RTY currently testing the 200 there on the 5 minute. We've got, okay, so that's interesting. We've got the pre-market lows here. All the way down here. Not very far away. So we've got the pre-market lows. Let's load those on. We're going to put them to red. Something we need to pay attention to. So beyond the pre-market lows, what are we looking at? Let's have a look. Pretty big window there. It's really, oh, it's a very nice window actually. So if we can navigate the pre-market lows, we've got a pretty big window. It's interesting. Still holding above the previous session lows, which would have been Friday here on NQ. Imagine that's what's holding up ES. Again, this could just be a higher low for the market to go higher. So, still not confident that we'll hit our target here. 16. That's interesting. I should work that out. I think I'm losing about 45 there. If we do get stopped out. Losing about 45 points. No, about 40. Say about 41. Interesting. So if we do get stopped out, we're losing about 41 off of this. So we're going to be down to about 60, which isn't great. Which is not great at all. You can see there on NQ, broke above Friday's low, tested it, seeing buying. We're going to use Friday's low as support to bounce off. Again, it's not part of any strategy I have, so I'll have to stay on the sidelines. If that is the case. You can see here, get our ES chart up. Currently unrealized 20, close the position now, we could lock in 82. So this was on about the buying that we saw. You can see the selling came in, couldn't quite test these lows here. Seeing the buyers come back in. So on NQ, we've come into an area. The area's come down a little bit for a possible re-entry short, but it's not what I want to see yet. I want to see a little bit more. I need to see a little bit more here for a possible re-entry short. It's not the ideal place as well. Previous day low, just there, a potential support. It's not the ideal place to be shorting. Not ideal. Okay, so let's see what happens here. We're going to see, because on ES, we actually closed below that 640. What would I like to see on NQ for a re-entry short? I'd like to see a move up, rejected, and a bearish close, likely below this 591. If I was to see something like that, move up, failure, bearish close below 591, I'd like that for a re-entry short on NQ. But a lot can happen between now and then. A lot can certainly happen. That's my ideal scenario. Because even if we were to close below on this current candle, it wouldn't be enough for me to... may not be enough for me to go short. Currently 11:16 New York time. So we had to move down off the open. Are we going to see take profits just before lunch here? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. See, there isn't anything I can read into this. This hasn't quite set up yet, so still waiting for the market to move higher here for a re-entry short on NQ. Only thing I would say is NQ is quite a bit away from its lows in comparison to ES. And I think that's probably the only saving grace at the moment on ES. RT White. Thing is, got previous day high sitting at 35 essentially. Got this 200 here on pre-market lows. Let's see how NQ's getting on. Again, Friday's low could be problematic for us. In our ideal world, we want to break away from there. Continues to hold. And as it continues to hold, imagine NQ is going to hold up our ES trade. But we'll see. YM's continuing to sell off. They got me really good here. I got in, felt like $1 million. Held, probably held a bit too long, but there isn't a strategy for exiting. And so I held to stop at. Came into the day saying I'd be dogmatic, and not being dogmatic caused me to take this FOMO trade here, which is causing me the biggest headache of all. Because if I'd have left the trade alone, I'd have picked up those 4 points and I wouldn't be in trying to pick them up now. The problem I've got is at the moment, NQ's non-compliance continues to be bought back up off Friday's low, which is very problematic. quite a bit of buying there. Very problematic. Now I have a decision to make. We're seeing price be bought up off Friday's low on NQ, which we know is going to have a strong influence on ES. Do we simply close a position, realize a loss currently at minus 14? Or do we continue to hold and risk potentially losing about 40 here? The trade wasn't ideal. It was a FOMO trade because of poor trade management over here. What do we do? What do we do? Well, seeing a continued break on YM here. This entire move to the upside was given up. So we're down to 10 here. And 10 is easy to pick up. I'd say 10 is pretty easy to pick up. 40, not so much, but 10, if we were to close here, pretty easy to pick up. Mm-hmm. Nine's even easier. So let's have a look at NQ. NQ just looks like a bull flag. It really does. We're seeing YM sell off even more here. I've got to make a decision here because I can't let recency bias have an impact on me. The fact that if NQ was to pop to the upside, I can't let that be a bit of a recency bias to then get out, because it would have been better if I just got out now. Realize a minus 10 or so and just move on. Because we're saying that this looks like a bit of a bull flag. Price came down, previous support, well, previous day's low. Currently seeing the buying come back through on ES. See? So, 07 up to 28. Currently 17. What's RTY doing? RTY is testing an important level. I'm not sure I haven't got it on this chart. Interesting. So with 11 seconds, well, 5 seconds to go, we've seen that pop out of this bit of a flag. Close with a bit of a wick on the candle. A bit of a doji, definitely but more bearish in comparison to NQ on the ES. But see, if we could get a strong bearish candle on NQ, I could look at it in terms of taking a short. Has this been a bit of a false break bull flag? I'm not sure. Not sure. But I'll be looking for continuation of this move to the downside. It's a bit of a fake out bull flag. Oh, hold on. Seems that this very next candle is going to be a setup on RTY. Let's see what the target would be. Oh, so there's a lot of room to the downside on RTY. Okay, let's get an eye. Let's get an eye for RTY. RTY, we've got the pre-market lows down at 24.2, which isn't ideal. It's not ideal, 24.2 being so close. Certainly not ideal. Certainly not ideal. If it does set up though, we have to follow the rules of our system and take it. It's not ideal. Only thing I could say with the RTY is has less volatility in comparison to, say, NQ, which could suffer a major loss. So we're willing to take the risk on RTY a little bit here. So 2 minutes and about 30 seconds to go to the close of the candle. So definitely be looking to take it. At the same time, NQ seems it wants to set up as well. But we're going to look at RTY being our first port of call. Seeing gold about to retest the regular trading hours low just there, down at the 46.1s. So down to 7. As this market's pulled back a little bit here. Come on. Why is NQ being bought back up? Ideally, I'd like NQ to have a good close near the low, so probably around at 603 or better. I'd like NQ to close down there. Still a minute 20 to go. RTY, not quite doing what I needed to do. Not quite. But we'll stay patient here. Looks like it might still set up even if we do get a bullish candle. But a bullish candle is not ideal for what I'm looking for. Could possibly suggest price is holding the pre-market lows on RTY. I see we're still seeing quite a bit of buying there. 10 seconds, time to make a decision. Decision made, going short.
Order submitted.
Okay, so I should have been short in RTY as well. Oh, goodness me.
Order submitted. Order canceled.
48.25 on NQ. 48.25. 668.50. 668.50. Now we wait. You can see on realize we're back up above where we were. Still waiting on RTY here. Somewhat fortunately, NQ is going in our favor. Looking for that move down to 48.25. If we do get there, picking up 61 to add to our 103. Our ES trade back to break even at the moment. Looking to pick up 4, which should be about 10. So we'll see. Currently testing Friday's low here on NQ, a level we found support previously. So not out the water until we can get through that level. You can see by these wicks that we were bought up off it several times. So let's see. Again, anything can happen. Absolutely anything can happen. Both NQ and ES could turn around. Actually take me negative on the day. Both could quite easily do that. So we need to get through this 592. And it's continuing to be a problem. So with the buying we've been seeing,
Order submitted.
looking for a move down to 219.7 on RTY. So just got it on the pullback to 19.7. 219.7 on RTY, 237.3. to 37.3. So that's what we're looking for in RTY. Again, all these trades could turn around and I'll have a pretty bad day. So we just saw 114. At the same time, you're probably thinking, well, why not take that? It's not a bad amount to be up. Similarly, unrealized. But we'll try to stick with the plan here. Take the trades that the system provides. I think at the moment we've only got one loss, which is our YM, which is 22. But we'll see here. We certainly will see. I'm hoping that NQ, I suppose we shouldn't be, hope isn't a strategy. Hoping that this level here on NQ, the 592 essentially, let's say 591, suffers from support fatigue after being tested several times. Price not being able to get away from it. Now we do get support fatigue. It breaks under the pressure. And we see a quick sell down to the 48s. I'm not actually targeting the lows of the day, which I think there is no real reason behind it. Should be pretty good in terms of getting to target. It's not as strenuous as getting all the way down to the 505. So it being quite a bit away from there. I'd hope that we do see price head all the way down there and pick us up. But again, anything can happen. And we do have to be aware of that. Over on ES, you can see there we're down to about 1 point in the negative. So through here, when I thought about closing the position, if I would have closed it, locked in minus 14, I believe at the time, I'd have been very angry right now as price have come down to break even. But again, prices could easily turn around and we could lose 40 here. So we're certainly not out of the woods. Certainly not out of the woods, especially as NQ continues to hold this 591. What is it with this Friday's low? Why can it just not get away from there in a downwards direction ideally? Let's see, what would we need to see? So it'd probably need to go below this low here, which is like 82. We'd need to probably break that and not see any like buyers drive the market back up into a wick. Because until that remains, that 82 to 91, somewhat undermined here. Who knows, today may be a day where I'll definitely be taught the lesson of respecting previous days' low. And if that is the case, of course, we'll have to respect previous day highs, as there are partner levels, but we'll see. Again, ES is closer to its lows. Is it lows on the day? Let's have a look. Yep, definitely lows on the day. It is closer to its lows on the day than NQ is, certainly. It's proven itself problematic. RTY is having difficulties as well. So across the 3 trades I currently have open, having some difficulties. Despite that, we've realized 102 with the unrealized. We're looking at somewhere between that 110 up to that 110 area. I just saw 112, but back of my mind is telling me to get out. At the same time, that same feeling is what got me out of the ES trade that eventually went on to hit target. Would have hit target down at the 38. As you can see there, starting to go against me as that 591 continues to hold. Come on. Currently 11:43 New York time. No hope's not a strategy, but I'm hoping that this move up was in order to get some buyers on the wrong side of the market before we get the flush down. So one last attempt by the bulls before getting the flush. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Trying to stick with the plan as best I can. Certainly a little bit frustrating. Of course, in the ideal world, trades would work out pretty quickly, but it's not the ideal world, is it? So we've actually got a short setup on gold coming up potentially here. A re-entry short. But with a move so close to the lows, bought back up. I'm not sure if I'm going to take that. So let's see. We're saying we need to move down to at least 81 because we're going to use NQ as our reference instrument. We need to move down to probably say the 81 without bias coming in strongly. Give us that confidence that we'll see continued selling. Until that happens, we're going to have to continue to remain cautious here. Even though we're not going to close the trades early, we just have to remain a bit cautious. Let's see. So we saw the wick here on it, RTY off that 200. So I'm hoping that we came up, stalled, see that selling all the way down to the 220s. But anything can happen. Absolutely anything. This market continues to hold this 91. Friday's low on NQ. Yes, seems like it wants to break the current day's low, but at the same time, I'm not sure. Spending a lot of time there. And I think if the sellers really wanted to break that level, they would come in strongly, even if this just to break it briefly and rally back up. I'm not a fan of the market going down, going into consolidation, because more often than not, go down, consolidation, a lot of volume get conducted, turn around. Ideally, I like to see directional moves sustain themselves and follow through, because the longer the market struggles to continue in its, oh, there we go. Fantastic. Come on, follow through. There we go. Fantastic. So we picked up the target there. FOMO trade played itself out, picked up 10. Let's see where we are. RTY, we're in favor. NQ, we're in favor. So in Q, we got down to 65 there. Target's down at 48. Realized 113. Unrealized, we got 44 on the books. So we broke through the 81s. Broke through the 81s there. Ideally, we'd like to see more follow through here. Pick up the 48s 25. So this is a re-entry short. This is a true setup. Let's see if it works itself out. Oh my. I actually had a re-entry short set up there at 34 on ES. Oh, this is interesting actually. So on ES, the re-entry short would have been at 35 for a move down to 24.50. That's interesting actually. 35. Oh, come on. Look at this, just being bought up again. What in the world? A lot of buyers here. Let's see. Re-entry short. Let's see here. Let's see if we can get up to say 36. See how quickly we lost those. Wow. Quite a bit of buying here. Some might say it's pretty dangerous to take a re-entry short after the buyers failed, after the sellers failed to that extent. Let's see. Let's see if we can get up to 36 here. This would be interesting, actually. I came close there. Oh, come on. I'd like to get to 36 to target the 2550s. So we picked up our target there. Oh wow, what was the low? The low was 28. Oh, my target was 28.25. Fantastic, good stuff. Let's see. So we got 2450. That's where the next level is. 2450. So let's see. Need to. Am I being greedy here? Trying to target a 36 for the move down to 2450. Let's see. So in reality, we can get in at 35. So RTY position is working against us at the moment, which isn't ideal. We're going to set an alert down at 2450. That's where the target is on the ES trade. If we do get down to that 2450, we're cancelling any possibility of going short. Of course, we can get up to 36 or so. Looking to go short for a move down to the 2450s. Looks like this RTY trade. Maybe a stop out here. We'll see. We're talking about a gold potential short. That's out the window. Seeing selling here on NQ. There we are. Seems like we're heading down to that 65 and possibly beyond. Looking for that move down to that 48.25. Maybe I was a little bit too greedy here on ES, waiting for that move up to 36. Maybe I should have got in down at the 35s or so. Time will tell. Time will tell. Down to the 60s there. So about 12 or so points from the target. But then again, 12 points could be any, this market could reverse at any point. Could come within 3 points, 2 points. It doesn't matter as long as we don't get to the level. That's ultimately what it is. Just have to stay in the background at the moment because we're watching ES also work itself to the downside. I would have been up 6 points. Well, all we can do is stay on the sidelines and watch our NQ position. Looking for that move down to the 48.25. Zero guarantee of success, of course. This market could easily turn around. Currently up about 30 or so points. Hoping that we do see the quick follow through here. Break through the 60s. And we have a quick move down through the 50s. Pick up 48. What it does after that doesn't make a difference to me. Does not make a difference to me. Currently seeing 62. So around that 62, 63. Seeing buyers stepping a little bit here. Seeing buyers step in around about the 60s there. Hoping that we can get them out of the way. Get them out of the way successfully. So we're looking at, we've realized 113. Do we adjust our stop to break even, or do we be dogmatic and look for our take profit? Maybe today's a day would be dogmatic. So we're potentially risking 59. So it's not quite 50%, is it? So we take 60 off. No, we'll still be up about 50 or so points. If this market was to turn around and stop us out, we'd be up about 50 points in a day. There we are below the 60s. Hoping the buyers step out of the way. 57. This is what I'm looking for. They've come back again. See, they keep coming back here, slowing down the movement to the downside. Not sure why. Keep slowing down the movement to the downside, these buyers. Why won't they just get out of the way? So as mentioned, the buyers sitting around the 60. I just need them to get out of the way and this market to flush quickly. We're seeing a bit of a contrast here. RTY is continuing to head to the upside here. And maybe I should think about closing this RTY position even though it's not at its stop. Just the fact that we've come down to this pre-market level and we're seeing buyers here. Seeing buyers drive this market up. You know what? Okay, so we're about to hit target here. Oh my word, how close did we come there? Got to 51, 3 points away. Unbelievable. So I'm not going to panic here because that's what caused me to take the FOMO trade on ES. That almost ended up costing me. So market 3 points from target. Are you really willing to allow this to move all the way back up and stop you out? That would be true dogmatism. So if we were to do that, we'd lock in another 10. You know what? Even though it's not a part of the plan, I'm just going to trail my stop down. Lock in a further 10 points. I'm just going to lock in a further 10 points. Prices have come within 3 points of my target. I'm just going to lock in 10 points. If I pick up 10 points, then so be it. Pick us up to 23. Plus, we've got to figure out this RTY. What's happening over there? Oh, okay. Target filled. Okay, fantastic. Picked up 61,250 there. So the target was hit. So we've realized 174. Picked up 174 there. ES trade, we're far too ambitious waiting for that 36. Far too ambitious there. Could have, of course, got in around the 35s. And if that was the case, would have been well on our way to that second target of 24.50 on ES. But it is what it is. Currently, we are only in the RTY position, which is proving itself problematic around this 200 period moving average. But we'll see how it works itself out. Had difficulties early on. As we can see, we're in a bit of a range. And currently, we're having difficulties breaking that range here to the downside. We thought the breakdown would have seen greater volatility and momentum. That doesn't certainly seem to be the case at the moment. So I may just get out of this RTY position for break even. So I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about it. Certainly thinking about it. Let's see how much we're risking on this RTY position. We're risking 8.3. So risking about 20 here. Goodness me. So ES looks like it's going to head down to 24.50. Far too ambitious. 36. Oh, well, we'll allow it to work itself out. Oh, hold on a sec. Oh, goodness me, we've got a short on YM. We got a short on YM. No, it's at a 200 period. Oh, goodness me, can't take it. Can't take it. Price is right on the 200 period. So there was a short here on YM. But price is right on the 200 period. Looking for a move down to 220. Looking for a move down here, but the 200 period is right there. The 200 period right there. Taking that there. Having a market reverse. That's the thing about when the market goes into a bit of a consolidation. You can certainly, but then again, I'm short here on RTY, and that's pretty close to the 200 period. But then again, RTY didn't go as far to the upside as YM did. That's the problem we have. And also on YM, we've got pre-market levels. Got quite a few of them, slightly above where that target would be. CRTY is proving itself very problematic here after 200. So a lot of non-compliance here. A lot. So we lose 20 off the top. We'll be down to around the 150. Well, this is just a bit. It's far too non-compliant here. We've got below the 200. We've come up to it. I was looking for a test, reject, continuation to the downside, but this is proving itself far too problematic for me. So what I'll do is decisions. Do we stick with dogmatism? Or do we allow the trades to work? Because if this was in negative territory, would we think about closing for break even? Probably not. Would be optimistic, hoping for a win. So let's have a look at YM. So on YM here, we've got the previous day's high. Is that right? That's correct. At 307. 307. So we've got the previous day high. Sitting at 307. Currently rejecting off it with these candles. Came below previous day high and the 200 period. See, this is a very congested area. I just think I just don't like RTY. It's showing greater relative strength at the moment compared to ES and NQ. And it's holding up off that 200. It's been a while since it's made a new low. Something I'm not sure about. Definitely feels like I'm going to get stopped out here on this instrument. Definitely feels that way. Currently down about 5. I'm going to close it. I'm going to close the RTY position there for minus 5.5. The reason is we've come down, we've gone into this consolidation. We still keep holding above this, above the 200 period here. So, okay, we may not have prices. So we're looking for a move down to 217. Let's put our target, what the target would have been. Looking for a move down to 27. What was it? 217? $219.7. That's where the target would have been. And the stop would have been 37.3. That's where the stop would have been at 37.3. But I don't like this price action here. I'm not a fan. I am really not a fan. So with that, if I get a re-entry short, then I'll take it. But of course, if this market comes all the way down to this level, you know, we've taken a loss when we could have taken a victory. It's going to not be ideal. But, you know, we took 25% potential, about 25% of what the original loss would have been if we allowed price to get up to 37.3. So there is that. Yes, has not got down to that 24.50. Instead, we're stalled in around the 28s or so. On gold, so we've pulled back, rejected that 200. Seems it wants to set up for a short, but we've got this level around the 50. I'm not keen on shorting into that. Not keen at all. Now, as we can see, we've realized 168, which is a pretty good day. Now, the question is, do we stay patient, locked in and focused and look for more opportunities, or do we just simply walk away? Do we walk away? So this is setting up for a short. Such a difficult decision to make. See, we've got a lower high short. Got 40 seconds to make this decision. Are we going to the well too many times here on gold? So we've got this short, we've picked up target. We didn't take the first trade, which would have hit target. So we know gold has a volatility today because we are having trades hit the target. We still got the YM trade hanging around the entry area, around at 200. So that actually set up for a short here on gold. I'm not a fan of this kind of sideways price action. We didn't even make a new low. Came down, made a higher low, made a lower high off that 200. Don't think I'm a fan of that. Think I'm a fan of that at all. It's about 50 minutes to the next session I like to trade, which is at 1 p.m. onwards. If anything, I may just sit on the sidelines here and wait a little bit. So with the short potentially on gold, we're looking for a move down to 46.9. But again, I'm not going to take it. And the reason I'm not going to take it is because I don't like the fact that we made a higher low here. So looking for a move down to 46.9. So all the way down here. So essentially, we need price to test these lows. Over on YM, trade with intake. Looking for that move down to the 220s. Again, looking for a entry around about a 200 period, looking for that move down. Got all of these levels here. The market pulled back to before heading higher. So again, another market I am going to be on the sidelines of. I think I'm gonna call it. I'm gonna call it there. I'm gonna call this. Yeah, I'm gonna call this session right here. If the market does set up, I'll come back and do a part 2, do a second live stream. But if not, I'll just do a recap after. But I'm gonna have a bit of a break, walk away, have a bit of a reset. We'll see what happens with this market. It's an okay day at the moment, somewhat offsetting the drawdown I've been in for about 4 or so days now. But we'll see. We'll certainly see if there are any opportunities that present themselves later on. Matter of fact, there is a thing is, the market's pulling back into an area for a potential re-entry short. Re-entry short. I was about to walk away, just noticed that we are pulling back into the re-entry short area. Now on NQ, that would be the second re-entry short. And of course, second and third entries present a fair bit of risk. They are lower probability in comparisons to the first re-entries like this one I took here that picked up 61. You can see at the moment, ES hasn't quite worked out. If we'd have got in at 35, we still haven't gone down to 24.50. So we broke the lows. Now we're at 30. Couldn't quite extended down to 26, but not a great extension here on the break of the lows. So even though it's a lower low, the lower low didn't have a great expansion of range. Did not have a great expansion of the range. Somewhat undermines the strength of the sellers. Their failure to extend the range somewhat undermine their strength. So it'll be interesting. I'll remain on the sidelines for now. So let's see. RTY is still heading up. So too YM. Keep an eye on NQ here for the moment. So I'm back, and it doesn't seem that the third pullback is going, well, it'll be the second pullback, is going to happen here on NQ. Far too much buying taking place. Of course, now it seems a lot better that I've got out when I did on RTY, as prices start to head towards that 37.3, and not taking the short on YM due to the fact that we're in and around a few key lows and that 200 period. It's seeming a lot better now. This may be it for today. It is it's a slow news day, so I'll call it quits for here for now. If anything does set up, I'll start up the stream again. If not, I'll do the recap as usual. But thanks for watching. Good luck trading, and have a great